Hello, Lou Wallace Mustangs. Welcome to another virtual art lesson. So today I've got a pretty cool assignment. I like this one quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick just to hop right into it. Um, Last lesson, we talked about the Museum of Modern Art, and I was showing you how to navigate that to where you can look up artworks or artists. And just to recap, you go to moma.org, MOMA.org, and you can click on art and artists. And if you scroll down, you can see a little search engine or a filter, have you. You can pick different mediums, or you can type in the artist's name and then look up the medium that they made. So for this particular assignment, I typed in the name Jim Dine, who's a cool artist. I like him. And I kind of selected drawings. I like his drawings. And today what we're going to do, kind of like all the drawings that he has in the Museum of Modern Art, he has 47 different drawings, but the ones that I really wanted to focus on are the tool drawings. So look at this real fast. I clicked on one of his drawings here. I'm going to click on it again. So with this channel lock wrench or a pair of pliers, whatever you want to call it, I call them channel locks, but anyway, here I want you to find an object around the house that you can trace. And I kind of think these are cool because tools are pretty easy to trace. So let me show you a couple other ones. I guess a little background story is that Jim Dine's family had a tool shop or a hardware store, and they always had tools around. So he always gravitated to drawing tools. So here's another cool one, I think. And I think it's a pretty good example. Just look at this one because he took a saw, which if you do decide to trace a saw, be very careful not to hurt yourself or anybody around you. Be careful with some of this stuff. Now, for example, he traced this saw a couple different ways or a couple different saws too. So we can do more than one object. Anyway, I wanted to show you some of his work. If you got a chance, look at the website and look at Jim Dine and look at his drawings, okay? And I'll scroll up just to show you one more time. So we're gonna kind of do the same thing. Now, granted, if you don't have any tools lying around, that's fine. If you got other objects, you can use those too. So for example, again, one more time, if you go to moma.org, click on art and artists, scroll down and go ahead and type in the name Jim Dine and select drawings. And if you keep scrolling down, it'll show you all of his drawings, and then you'll run into some of his cool drawings. Okay, but what we're going to do, I'm going to show you real quick. So for example, I had a hammer lying around, right? And if you don't have any tools, don't worry about it, but I'm just going to demonstrate real quick what to do. Kind of like Jim Dine, I'm going to take this object or whatever, and I'm going to set it on my piece of paper. So, and this is a good practice anyway. No matter what object you find to trace, try to find something that you can trace. And it's good practice to kind of hold your object down and try to trace around it. Now I'm using a marker so you can see I would normally use a pencil. That way if I messed up or I needed to clean something up or change it, I could erase and change it. But for example, I'm just going to go ahead and trace my hammer. And voila. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it still looks like a hammer. And if I had a pencil, I would erase that, kind of clean it up a little bit. So it looks like a hammer. I mean, that's the cool thing. And I mean, you can grab whatever tools or objects around the house that you have, and that's just how I trace mine. The really real secret to this is just holding it and taking your time. You know, I did it pretty fast, but I've been trained to draw, and I'm pretty fast at drawing. Hold your object down the whole time while you're tracing, and you can make it. And here's some other things that you can do is you can pick more than one object if you want. I picked the hammer already and I colored it in. If you have other colors or crayons, chalk works really good to use chalk. You can color these objects and you can also overlap them or trace more than one. I mean, I used a pair of scissors, you know, I traced those. I also have a pair of channel lock pliers, which I used also and traced on there. And I mean, the cool thing is that you can kind of look after you trace these things and look at some of the other details too that are in these things. And it kind of brings up how to draw observational drawings as well, how to get better at drawing observationally. Like even when I trace this wrench, I traced the little hole in the middle. I didn't draw this little circle here, but maybe I can even draw little teeth. You can add little details to these things or nothing at all. Or I can make some wild colors or do whatever. And like I said, you don't have to use tools. You can use any object that you find around the house. Just try to make sure it's an object that looks like something, you know. Have a good day. This is a pretty fun assignment. Have fun tracing things. Pretty cool, pretty easy, right? Have fun, guys. Let's see.